This video will help you with the initial stages of setting up your Bitmoji virtual classroom. You're going to see how to import your background into Google Slides, import your Bitmoji into your classroom, and begin to add and manipulate objects within the scene. You are going to build your Bitmoji classroom from Google Slides. So the best way to get into that would be to go into your email. And once you are in your email, go over to the Google Apps waffle and come down to Slides. You're going to create a blank slide. And when you first open up the slides, there will be these text boxes and all this formatting, even though you've chosen a blank slide, and we don't want any of that. Couple different ways that you can get rid of it. I generally go to Slide, Apply Layout, and then choose Blank, and that will get rid of everything. You can also do that as a right-click on your slide over here, Apply Layout, and Blank as well. The first thing that you will want to do is add a background to your Google slide. So if you go to this area, you will see that it says background. We're going to click on that. We're going to choose a background, and we're going to do that with an image search through Google. In the search bar, you can type in something to the effect of wall and floor background, which will bring up a bunch of different selections, and then you can just scroll through and choose whichever one you would like. That's the one I'm going to choose for now. I will click Insert, and you will see that it has been inserted as the background, and then we are done. The next thing you'll want to add is your Bitmoji. Obviously, you don't have to put a Bitmoji in your classroom. It could just be a virtual classroom without the Bitmoji. That seems to be what people want to do. If you already have your Bitmoji created on your phone through the app, you can go into Google, go to the extensions area, which is basically the Chrome Web Store, and search for Bitmoji. And you will see that there is an extension for Bitmoji. Mine is already installed, but if yours is not installed, you will have an Add to Chrome bar like this one right there. Once you add that to Chrome, it will then appear up here in your extensions bar. You will have to log in with that using the credentials that you logged in originally on your phone app. So once you have that in your extensions, at any time when you're in Chrome, you can click on that and it will bring up your Bitmojis. You can choose, scroll through and choose one. Some of the sort of quick points, you can search by typing in pose. That will bring up the poses without all the other things. You can type in things like reading, if you specifically know that you want one that is reading, and so on. Once you find the Bitmoji you want to use, you can right-click and do your copy-paste like you normally do, or you can just drag it. Let's see, why is it not dragging? There we go. Just drag them over, and it will be placed, and then you can position it wherever you want within your scene. You can resize to make it whatever size you want and kind of place it there. All right, so now it's time to start adding objects to our scene. This being a classroom, let's add a desk. The way that you add objects into your classroom is that you will go to Insert. You're going to insert an image, and you're going to search the web. That brings up a sidebar where you are searching for Google Images, and here is a a helpful hint. When you search for an object, let's say we're searching for a desk, we want to add the word transparent or transparent background in our search, and I will show you why in just a second. Let's say then that I want to choose this desk. I can just drag it over, or I could select it and do insert at the bottom. We're going to drag and resize. We're going to position it where we want it. You'll see right now that these aren't really in any position that looks natural. So what we're going to do is let's click on the desk one time to select it. Let's go to Arrange. We're going to rotate and flip it horizontally. That changes the orientation of the desk. So let's move it over a little bit. And let's say that I want my Bitmoji to be sort of scrunched up over in the corner beside the desk. I can do the same with this guy. So we're going to Arrange, rotate, flip horizontally, and then I can slide him over so that he's sort of more in the corner. Going back to what I was talking about, the background, if I had not put in transparent background and just searched for a desk in general, and let's say I found this desk that I liked, and I put that into my background, you'll see that there's a white background. And if you put in a bunch of images with white background, you're not going to see any of your classroom background. So that's why it's important that when you search for an image, you search for things that have a transparent background. Another friendly tool that you will use frequently as you make mistakes and decide that the change you just made you don't like is right here, the undo button. So by clicking on the undo button, that will take you step by step back through the steps that you just did and get rid of anything. So if you make a change and you don't know what happened, go up here and click on undo, and that will undo your last action. And then you can kind of step backward as well. Let me go ahead and put in another image because I do want to show you one other helpful hint before we're done with today's lesson. Let's search for a bookcase. Again, transparent background. And let's say that I want to use this bookcase. So I can click on that and go down. I'm just showing you different ways to do things. Insert rather than the drag, and that will plop that over there. All right, one thing that you might find once you start putting lots of objects in is that they will appear sort of in the order. So I put the Bitmoji in first. So when I place the desk, it will go in front of my Bitmoji. When I place the bookcase, it will go in front of all of those, and it will begin to cover things up. So here is a helpful hint. Let's say that I wanted to put me in front of the bookcase. You can see that I'm behind it. So when you select your object, so the Bitmoji, and again, we're going to go back up to Arrange. We're going to go to Order, and we're going to bring that to the front. That then brings that to the front of our scene. The bring to front will bring it to the very front of the scene. Bring forward will just bring it forward one step at a time. So let's just look at that as we have these things layered here. So there's that. Where's the desk in all of this? So the desk is in the very back. And this is where it can get frustrating because when you select these objects, these boxes will extend out and you might grab one object instead of another. So if I have the desk selected, if I bring it forward, it should now come between the bookcase and me. If I bring it to the front, it brings it to the very front of the scene. That tool becomes handy once you start layering in a bunch of objects and you have an object that you want behind another or in front of another, that tool becomes handy. All right, so I think that gets you started. We were able to, again, go to the background and add our room, and with our floor and wall, we were able to add some objects. Remember to look for transparent objects. And then the next lesson, what we will do is learn how we can begin to add text or add hyperlinks to other things that you might want to add. See you next time.